Hi, this is Adolf again. I guess I'll go more into the Illuminati. I wouldn't, well, during that time, they referred to themselves as the Illuminati, and they were basically the pinpoint sound of the world and the earth. So, now in terms of what is referred to as the Illuminati here in this world at the moment, God knows, even referring to them as the Illuminati is really, it's like they've become this broadcasting center for the world, you know, conspiring about the Illuminati, but it's the most ridiculous thing that exists, really. So what did I understand? One thing I did understand is the following, that they've only got limited power, they've only got limited control, really. From the perspective that they use the most limited form that exists in this world to control people, to direct people. Oh, you know, of course they have still devices. During that time they were still developing them. During that time they were already speaking of finding something that controls human beings as robots. They were looking at strangest inventions, you know, during that time. They were even trying to do it through inserting, you know, during that time they already had microchip implants, designed, developed, testing them. I've seen the underground facilities as well, in which they've done it very primitive during that time, of course, but in terms of technology, pretty advanced already. In terms of what you're hearing now, only in terms of microchips, specifically being implanted into human beings' hands, that was already known then, and even before then. So the Illuminati was a group of beings, handful. During my time there was about only 27 of them. Started off at 17 through the year, rise to 27. They exist in an interesting establishment. It is, you might be actually surprised that the Illuminati could be merely the people walking just past you during your daily lives and you won't even notice them. That's what they are. They're the greatest facilities, beautiful. Almost castles underneath the earth, underneath the ground, underneath specific facilities. There they'd usually go if during a period where they would direct the world to a specific cause and purpose. So in terms of what's going on with Bush, he's caught. He's got no way out. So in terms of the situation with Bush and where he's going at with Iran, Iraq, the whole terrorism thing, same story, just different scenario, same situation that occurred with me, for instance. You know, I see the similarities already. But of course I stood on my own. I didn't, the Illuminati during that time, I had the ability to, they thought they were in control of me, but actually it was the other way around. That's why I had the ability to do what I did so effectively, I believe. But to the end, it twisted, but I'll get more to that later. In terms of Bush's situation, he's in a bit of trouble. He can't get out. They've got control over him, clearly. They've got power over him, so he's in a bit of a tough situation. I'm surprised he didn't. No, I wouldn't go there. So, in terms of how they work specifically, is they work through, definitely, media coverage. But all this is known by everyone already. They work through media coverage, especially schools. Schools is the greatest one. The sentence constructions, the choice of words used, specifically what your children are said to learn, are compartmentalized in specific the compartments of your mind, which scientists are aware of. Thus, they will only develop in the school system certain compartments and sections of the mind system. not the ones where you think for yourself. For instance, having the ability to understand, be able to be independent, hear your own voice, become your own being, for instance. There are specific sections in the mind that does that. And they specifically know where and how it exactly works. So in the school systems that have specific learned what you have to learn, and those specific subjects and the words, the way it's written, everything, mathematics, science, God knows, are only train that at least only 10% of the human brain. That's all. The other 90% is left dead. Why? Because it becomes easier to program human beings. What else did they use? Many schools to already train children to become that. That's when the new that's when they started developing the new schooling system, which was implemented a few years ago in the world already. What else? Of course, symbols. Not so much symbols. I understand human beings make this big thing about symbols, but symbols not so much anymore. Previously, yes, but in this world today, no. At the moment, more they're focusing on the school system. From there, of course, you've heard, they've got the programming towers. They're using a shitload of Tesla's inventions. Much. I'd say at the moment in the world, there's about 54 different Tesla inventions that is established in the world that they're using for programming. What else? God, you've got so many people in the world that understand how the hell to program human beings, and they do it deliberately. Mostly news, media, which hear, and they're trying to instill fear. Fear is the greatest motivator for directing human beings. Simple. So, create fear, you're able to direct. And the greatest fear that exists in human beings is fear of death. And that's the only thing they have to play on. It's interesting. The only thing that that starting point at which they have the ability to program human beings is fear. And also fear of death. Because why would parents send their children to school? Fear of something. Why would America at the moment fear everything in terms of why would war on terror or something be declared? To instill fear. Fear of death. Why would there be movies about violence and people being killed, shot, the blood, the gore? There's fear being instilled inside you. That's the only reason why movies are made, is to project either a reality that doesn't exist or a reality to instill fear. Video games, children playing video games. I know there are many people that say, oh no, that's not bad. Of course it's not bad. Just understand that your children are being programmed. All these PC games, computer games. If your child does not stand clear within who they are, they're being programmed. And well, nonetheless, when Bush's regime is busy being placed in to win the war on the world, I think the war on terror in the world is really that. No, it's a war on the world that is starting under oath of the Illuminati, which is exactly what I wanted to do, but from a different perspective. But it would be interesting to hear his perspective as well, probably soon. Okay, thank you very much. This is Hitler.